Welcome to The Artist Matters. I'm Alex Rudy, and each week you will meet incredible artists from all walks of life. Filmmakers, writers, actors, painters, musicians, and so many more, sharing their stories to motivate and inspire the creative in you. Whether you're doing it for fun or looking to make a living, this show will help you on your journey to bring out the artist within and letting the world know that your art matters. Hi everybody, welcome back to The Artist Matters. It's Alex. Still in July. We just passed my sister's birthday. She was July 20th, so happy belated birthday, sister. That's my sister Celeste. Hope it was fun. I couldn't spend it with her. I'm here in Florida entertaining my granddaughter, so got to do what a poppy has to do. And I still wish her a happy birthday. Anyway, let's move along to this guest. We have Rebeca Flott, my first painter. I finally got a painter on the show. Yes. And she hails from Brazil. It's a long way to America. But at a young age, she was painting. She had to use whatever she could. Tiles, wood, whatever was available. So they couldn't afford canvases. But she was fine with it. She made do with what she had and kept painting. But eventually felt the tug of the USA calling her. So in 2003, with just $500 in her pocket, she came to America. Was in Orlando for a while and had to just take odd jobs, had to learn English, and was still finding ways to paint and started getting a little bit of a following. People were interested in her art. And in Florida, she met her husband. But then the mountains were calling. And in 2011, she and her husband moved to Colorado, of all places. And that became their home, and that's where they are now. And she built this art business with her husband, which is called Rebeca Flott Arts. And she wanted to find a little bit of a hook, a little bit of a way to make her art unique. She went back to where she started, using materials that were available to her at the time, and she decided to start painting on screens, window screens, that sort of thing. And the artwork is incredible. He has a special kind of paint, she'll tell you about it, that adheres to the screen, and it's incredible stuff, which you can find on her webpage, RebecaFlottArts.com, and her Etsy store, and even an Amazon store. And if you're so inclined, you can even book a class with her through Painting with a Twist. And if that isn't enough, she also has a podcast. Yes, hers is called Jump. And it's a very inspirational podcast. Got to check that out. And there's so much more to her. This was definitely one of the most inspiring and motivating conversations I've had yet. To come from Brazil, not knowing English, but having this passion for painting. It was her art. It was her art that made a difference in the lives of so many people, and she found her husband through it. She has a son, and to see her be able to create this business and support herself with her art is truly an American dream, and I applaud her for it, as you will soon see. So without further ado, let's get into this. Here is my little conversation with Rebeca Flott. All right, we have Rebeca. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I love this.
Well, thank you. You are my first painter. Yes, finally.
Yes, I'm your very first artist.
You're my first painter on the show.
That's wonderful. I hope I can leave into the existence of more to come.
Oh, yeah.
And exciting things bring into your show. I love that. I love the title. It's a good title.
The artist does matter, and you'll find out why, because this one has a very interesting story. So where did your journey begin? Where were you born?
My journey began in Brazil. So I am from Brazil. English is my second language, and I grew up there and moved here about 16 years ago.
So in Brazil, what was it like growing up there?
Well, it was good and difficult in the same time. Good because I always love where am I in the season of my life. So if I live here, I love here. When I live in Brazil, I enjoy Brazil. I truly did. But as an artist, I knew that would be a little bit hard to make a living, but it still would be possible. So I would say Brazil, it's a blessing, but also has that culture things that sometimes you need to get out to actually be able to grow, in different areas of your life. But I'll tell you this. As an artist, I could not afford anything in Brazil. I could not afford to go to learn anything. My parents ended up putting me to learn some painting in fabric, but I still remember my dad counting the coins to pay for the class. So it was like a struggle, but I love it. And I paint a little bit of oils in Brazil, but it was tough. So my mom had to go to like construction store to actually find materials that we could use to just practice art, to just do art. So I did not paint it in any canvas. And after my 20s, that I got a chance to actually paint it in a canvas and just cry because I was like, oh my gosh, how it feels to paint in a canvas. It's so cool. So it had other challenge, we had our challenges growing up for sure, especially in that the artists feel that it was so expensive. It was so expensive.
So was this creative side always part of you as far back as you can?
I would say yes, because I love to just draw and do things that I could just mix and do and color, and even coloring. One of the stories that I have about coloring, I actually shared this on my Instagram as a post, that I was a little girl, and then back in the time, I was born in the 1980s, and back in the time, we didn't really have a coloring book. I don't know if you remember. I mean, we didn't have it. So that was a collection of books that we had at home. That was like a very expensive collection, like $200 in today's day. And those books, I love seeing those books because they were black and white. The pictures was black and white. And I was a little girl, and I was like to my mom, can I paint this, please? Can I color this? And my mom is like, no, you can't, because you're gonna mess it up. You don't color inside of the lines. And so I remember that feeling, like I loved doing it, but I knew that I was not so great, if you know what I mean. So it took me many years to actually start like, okay, so maybe I'll try a little bit in paint because I really like it. And it took me many years. I think by the time I was 15, I asked my mom, and I was like, hey, do you think when I'm 35 I can be a good artist? And she said, if you practice every day, you can. So I decided to practice every day until I actually wanted to be a good artist. The culture of Brazilian art. We do a lot of street art, a lot of recycle things, whatever we can find, whatever we can do.
Like what?
But
what did you use?
I used tiles. I bought a big it was a box of tiles in the construction. I never had the paint like the acrylics or oils and anything like that. So they had a little pigment in Brazil that was like just the main colors, like blue and yellow and red. Yeah. So I painted with that. And that's the only thing I had to do. And then I had a paper, and then I'll paint in the concrete. We had like concrete walls, and I'll go do some painting in that. And
wherever you can get your hands on.
No, it was like that. It was like, okay, is this your shoes? Can I paint this? It was like that. I was like, I'll paint whatever you give me.
Now,
through this day, I still have the same like ability to be like, can I paint that?
It never goes away. Anybody else in your family artistic or creative? No, you're the only one.
I was adopt. So I would say my birth family, I know my brother is very artistic. His ability of creating is amazing. And I have an adopted sister that she was an artist, and she actually went to art school, and she actually nurtured a little bit of that in me, but nothing crazy about people doing art. No, my father did not believe that artists could make a living. My father told me that artists, if you want to be an artist, you better just get ready to just starve yourself. And he believed that, and it's okay. He was wrong, because I make a living full time as an artist for the last, I don't know how many years. But our family and our culture, no one believed that art could even be something that you can do for a living.
So many parents think that. Why do you think I
think it's a way of protecting the kids. Okay. I think they feel like if you are a teacher, you have a guaranteed salary, and like different professions maybe has better, you have better recognitions. I don't know. I think it's a way of protecting the kids that you love. You don't want them to be artists because you don't know what that means, where they're gonna be, in life. So. But
you're the story that says it can be done.
It can be done. Yes. And I think even it's hard for even the people in Brazil to look at me like, oh, what? This girl went to United States and now she makes a living doing art, and now her husband works with her, and now she owns a painting studio, and now she, I have 9 artists that works for me part-time. Wow. And I, work with different artists, creating different things every day. And I absolutely love the life that I have now, that I get a chance to actually put a mark and say, what do I want to give to the world? What do I want to say through my art? And it's amazing. It's amazing what art can do to people. It changes them and brings memories to them and revives something inside of their heart. I've been on Etsy since 2013, doing Etsy shop, right? And on Etsy, I have connected with so many different people that write me letters about their entire life and why they want a piece of art. And then you realize more and more, this is not just a decoration business. This is a business about creating a piece of art that will bring the memory something that is going to completely transform how they feel. And I don't have any hope, to this brings me joy. This brings me hope. I am struggling right now, but when I look at this art, it reminds me what the future can be for me. So I think art does that to people so intensely that it's just beyond decoration. It's beyond having a beautiful home with a piece of art. It's speaking with nature. It's speaking with forms and colors and textures. And I think that's so vibrant in our lives. And we all need art.
Absolutely. All right, to backpedal a little bit, when did you make your way to America?
All right, so that's a long story, but I'm going to make it very short, right? I came to the United States 2003. With that word that says, I have a dream. I came to my parents and I said, hey, I have a dream and I want to go to the United States. And they said, well, you can definitely go. But once you go, do not call us for money.